Have you always been working with your mom on her art?
I would say, yeah, most of my life. However, at this capacity, I would say since 2.5 years ago, so early 2024. So I'm basically her manager. I help market her shows. I help bring her work into public spaces because we think community art is never overrated. I think it's wonderful to have people come together to libraries right here at Wellesley Free Library, and it's been wonderful.
Are you an artist yourself?
I would say so. So I grew up because both of my parents are artists. So I grew up doing calligraphy, painting. My mom gave me different cues, and she's always been very helpful. But as I, entered school, I realized the programs offered at schools just became it's very limited for me. And now I'm working as a digital marketer. So I feel like art is all, it's part of my life. It's always been my whole life. But I'm not like a fine artist the way she is on a full-time basis. This is something we primarily do in Massachusetts, including Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, Worcester Art Museum. We've been to College Holy Cross, Worcester State University, and of course Harvard University. What is it? I'm trying to remember the school. I think it's the School of Education at Harvard, and also Harvard Museums as well. They've been overlooked a lot, not just Chinese empresses, but also empresses or queens throughout history in Europe, other parts of Asia. And we think it's very important to share these stories. For one, that a lot of these women played very significant roles in running the court, being their strategists, and they didn't just, we believe that they're not just somebody placed next to the emperors, and they play significant roles. They're role models to a lot of men and women from history, and it's really important on a secondary level that I guess now is really the primary reason that we want women and young girls to walk into our shows and realize women can be subjects, women can be artists, because even nowadays, a lot of the museums, you'll notice for old artworks, almost primarily 100% male artists. Even in modern art, since I would say 1900s and on, still primarily male artists. Only very recent years you start to see female artists' work being showcased and exhibited.
Did your mother go to school for this, or how does that work out?
So she did not go to college for this per se. She was very lucky to have grown up in an area in Beijing, downtown Beijing, where Deng Xiaoping, a very famous artist, was actually her next door neighbor. Now granted, my mom was very shy at the time. She really didn't come from very much at all. But this man kind of took her in and say, when I have time, I'm going to teach you a few things. So she started competing in art shows since she was 6, 7 years old, and she became quite well known in her elementary schools by sort of fourth, fifth grade. And when she was 21, 22, she joined the Palace Museum, which is also known as the Forbidden City in Beijing, and became a master professional artist and later a master artist after very strict 6-year constant training of line training. So restoration, reproduction, and others.
And your mother's still active painting. She paints all the time, every day?
Every day. So people actually ask when she started this particular project, she was 60. And it's officially completed in 12 years, so she was 72. But nowadays, she looked at certain paintings and said, okay, maybe, some of these, as you can see, women, these empresses are presented in a group painting, and she now wants to create individual portraits of them in some cases, and this way it's a little easier to exhibit, and she may want to tell the story slightly differently. She also used very ancient silk, so there's a couple of paintings that are on like Qing Dynasty silk that it's gonna kind of ruin the painting a little bit, damage it a bit if you keep exhibiting them. So she decided to take some of those characters out too.
Okay.
By the way, I should also mention that you can't just paint on silk. The fabrics you touch very soft. These natural fabrics have a lot of holes on them. So my mom used a combination of art glue and chalk to basically fill the holes as much as possible. And it's never 100% filled. So yeah, that's what she does. It's a process.
Canvas seems easier.
I know. It's a lot easier to control, same as regular watercolor paper, even rice paper. Silk, unfortunately, it's extremely unforgiving. The reason why she uses silk is because that is the official fabric paper. Silk, it's 100% silk used in court, Chinese court. So back in the day when all the emperors, and some of the emperors had their portraits painted, it's always on silk. And this shows the status of them, but also just the quality of the fabrics itself.
So how did your family end up coming to the United States?
So I came here a couple of weeks after I turned 17 to go to high school here. And I don't think at the time it was the plan, I'm going to stay here forever. We're going to market mom's artworks here. But I think, I was 17. My dad passed away when I was 26. And I know that, there are a lot of unexpected events. So my mom stayed back in China for a couple of years. And eventually I realized as she got older, it would be much easier if she was closer to me. At the time, I already started to develop a career here. And now I'm very lucky because I get to really, run my own business and have the time to do things this way. Thank you for spending your time this evening with us to share our stories.